Heal to feel. Let's start this journey together. What about cancer patients?
Cancer patients, I usually see them at the end when their hair is grown out. And those are incredible because it's like they did lose something. They've lost their dignity. They've lost a lot of things and they're trying to come back to themselves, and losing your hair that way, a wig will never do it for them. It's they want the real stuff. So extensions and integrated into your own hair is the best way for it to feel like it's your own and it's a part of you. And so when I've ever done anyone like that, I've done several where they've grown their hair out and then we've put in, we have to put in a lot of rows to make it look good, but it's incredible because it's just like, I'm back.
Hi, ladies. Welcome to Heal to Feel.
Hi.
So today we have our topic of hair, which I think is so important, at least my journey. And I'm sure MJ can attest to that too, although you're Persian and have like gorgeous thick hair.
I love that you think that.
But
not all Persians have good hair. I will testify.
Today we have Kiki, who has done extensions for me, who's incredible. And she'll talk about what she does and top hair she gets from Russia. And we also have Britney, who our sons were like BFF in kindergarten, and we met and developed a friendship. And the first time we had a play date, Britney brings over like this whole bag full of Brazilian blow dry, which is what you brought to the United States, right?
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, and so she's the owner of that. So we'll talk about that. But for me, I was born with gorgeous, thick. I mean, if you see me as a kid, I had the best hair, and then puberty hit and it went curly, frizzy. And then I tried all this straightening treatments, which like half my hair fell out because it was like, I don't know if you guys remember Yuko, the Japanese treatment.
Yes.
Yeah.
One guy did it and like half my hair fell out. And then it was the keratin and this and that. So I've been on the journey. And then one day, me and Britt were out with our little girls having tea. And I was like, your hair is so perfect. She's like, yeah, I do a little bit of extensions. I'm like, you do?
Did
and
you
then
say a little bit of extensions?
I did. It looks so natural. And then she's like, call Kiki. And so that's where our journey began. But I wanted to let you guys kind of, first of all, you guys are both savvy business owners, which I love women in the business field, powerful women. And then you guys can talk about kind of like your hair journey and how you got into it. So I guess we'll start with Britt. How did you get in? I know that you owned a salon.
Yes, I owned a salon, and primarily, I'm not a stylist, but I've loved hair since I was a little girl. And I learned there that hair is your number one accessory that you wear every single day.
Number one. You know who taught me that? Denise Richards.
Yeah.
My aunt saw her coming out of some cascading slow-mo sequence in a movie. And at the time, it both dawned on both of us. We were like, Pas hamechi mue. Everything is hair. Like you can have,
So
you could be a butterface. I would rather actually, because it cascades down kind of like yours. And it just,
You're
like
welcome.
if you want to be polished and everything is done except for your hair, you ain't going to look polished.
I like to liken hair or hair extensions like one notch below plastic surgery because it's so impactful and it can give you something that maybe you lost or you could never have thought possible that you could have.
Well,
And
I just
so
stopped.
it's really so.
Yeah, I stopped feeling like a woman. It's like you had
Definitely.
the short, tiny, like not a lot of hair. And when I came home that first night, my husband, I gave him the best night of his life. It's like, you should always have hair.
That happened to me.
addict.
As a hairstylist, getting my biggest extension transformation, I came down, like I dropped in the airport and I was the most feminine I had ever felt in my life. And I was a hairstylist. So really what a sign of thick, full hair, strong nails, long nails. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about this the other day about tapping into your femininity. And thick hair is a sign of vitality. It's a sign of bearing children. And it's like this thing that intuitively, when we have it, it almost affects us emotionally inside because it's tapping into that femininity.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Shinka, or one of the first times, the medium that we've had on the show, my guides talked, I'm not joking, like 45 minutes on my hair. Like how it
Wow.
my
Yeah.
guides that came through,
Guides.
how it affected me so much
I
emotionally.
love that for you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really good for my business.
Yeah.
That
Think
happened.
of when you
Yeah.
leave the salon, every woman, like you get in your car and you're like taking selfies because you feel
Yeah,
so
so
good.
good.
Like your hair's so fresh, the blowout's so beautiful, you feel glamorous, and everyone's like, I want to go out tonight. I want to go do
Yeah.
something because
Definitely.
you
You can't
feel
waste this good hair.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Everyone wants it.
Britt, you opened a salon.
So I opened a salon,
Yeah.
and within that salon, we created the product, the smoothing line Brazilian Blowout. And really, it was incredible because we saw the Yucca for so many years for women who had like the curly or frizzy hair. And the reason Brazilian Blowout was amazing is it smoothed the hair. So it gave women the best hair that they could possibly have with actually making the hair feel better and more conditioned and better health to the hair.
And how did you find the smoothing treatment?
Well, it came from Brazil. That's why hence the name Brazilian Blowout. And we had a stylist that was doing it in the salon. And it was like a whole new segment for us because you had like your cuts, your colors, your wet lines.
And what
So-
year is this?
I want to say like, God, my memory is so bad with it. Maybe 2008,
Okay.
2009.
I think that's when
Yeah.
Instagram came out.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Is it?
Or
Yes.
2012, something like that.
But that's how we
or
really blew
Facebook.
up.
I think Facebook might have
Facebook
come out
was
in
out.
2007, 8. Yeah.
I owe the
Wow,
success,
that's
a lot of
crazy.
it to Twitter. And it was organic Twitter from celebrities. And one of the biggest was Nicole Richie, who was getting them done at her house. And she was Twittering about it. And it blew up because it did. It made women feel so good. It saved
Yeah.
time on their blowouts. Their hair wasn't as frizzy. It was in better health.
Because even somebody like me that used to have straight, like thick, gorgeous hair, like when it went frizzy, even if you blow dry it, unless you're in weather that's dry,
Yeah.
you go to the beach and it's like, you
Yeah.
know,
Just-
and it that was life changing for me. The
Yeah.
smoothing treatments.
My hair, we've never talked about this, but when I was in high school, I started to lose my hair, but it was like something I could notice pretty drastically. And I had very thick hair, very long, shiny, healthy, like that vitality that you're talking about. I went to a doctor. No one could really do anything. There really wasn't anything on the market. We went to try and fix the hormones because it's all supposed to be related back to that. But it just became something that you just suffer not knowing.
Yeah.
Because when you think about how can I make my hair grow back, it sounds like a really long time, right? And then you also, like, I always wanted more fullness from the top of my head. So there are certain things that even if you get your hair to its healthiest place that it can be, you're still not going to accomplish what you can accomplish with help with professional
100%.
hair health. So it was really debilitating because anytime that I knew someone is taller than me, they can see the top of my head. When I was sitting in class right in front of the guy that I had a crush on, I would be like, I'd be sitting here like this, you know, and I'd be like, I don't know what angle, how's the light hitting me? But it was one of those things where you like pull it and it just was shedding. So it sucked. It was something I wouldn't want for anyone, but I was so savvy that I went and I found like hair restoration weaves that men would wear, like a toupee. And I found and I sourced a Korean couple that basically was doing it just for like the men. But I was like, no, because I need it for me.
Even the men are doing so many transplants now in Turkey.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see so many, and I'm seeing it work on like people. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
No, it does. I've had several clients that come to me that wear extensions that have gone to Turkey to do
Right.
Women?
that. Yes, women.
Sure.
Oh, don't they have
yes.
to shave the head?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that conversation we had about that one client who
Yeah.
went there and had to shave the whole back of her head.
And I did
Yeah,
an
that's
Instagram
wild.
reel, a few reels about it, and it
Yeah.
just got so much attention because people just don't even understand
Right.
why. But yeah,
But then there's also genetics, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
so
that's what happened. I went on a drug that my doctor gave me because he thought I was too heavy at 138 pounds in high school, which I wish I would never want to weigh that again because I can't. It's not meant for me. But that was considered so overweight So he put me on a diet pill, and that was the gateway to my genetics. It was the trigger for the hair loss that was latent. It was waiting for something to trigger it. But there are people that get hair procedures and hair transplants right here in town that you don't have to go to extremes of shaving your whole head. They just take the healthiest part from the back and they move it, and it's like, do it in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two ways, like main two ways you can do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how did people react to the Brazilian blow dry when it first came out?
They loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah, loved it because of the ease to like take, to be able to blow your hair out and get your hair smooth and not kill it at the same time. Because with the Yukos and the straightening or relaxers, there was so much
Killing.
damage done to the cuticle of the hair.
Yeah.
So this way you were allowed to have like the healthiest hair that you can have while cutting down on blow drying time.
And now you guys just came out with a new product, correct?
Yes. It's called
Tell it.
BB Free.
Yeah.
So it's with Brazilian Blowout, there was, some controversy around chemicals. But now we have one called BB Free, and it's the same end result, but it's a completely different process to get there. So we're in the process of re-educating
So much healthier.
hairstylists.
Healthier for your hair.
Well, yeah, the same, it makes your hair healthy, at the end of it, the same that a regular Brazilian Blowout would do as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And now you guys, are you doing other products, or you're just kind of in that?
We
staying in
do
the smoothing
everything that
treatment?
we do with our company is treatment driven. So for instance, we're not going to put out a styling line. Everything is treatment driven. That is to help a hairstylist generate new revenue in the salon and to help benefit clients in the salon. So it's more about giving stylists tools to promote better hair for their clients.
What was that temporary one you did, or the quick one you did on me? That worked so like
yeah, it was the
Was it
Express.
like the Express?
the
did
yeah.
express
on her.
one. She's
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god,
It's
because
just
it's
a
really
one
for the
step.
top of your hair, but
Yeah.
it really worked. So then, how did you guys meet? How did you get to Kiki?
We met in the salon. I
Mm-hmm.
was working in my first salon that I started in LA before I opened my own salon here.
And you came. Tell them you came from.
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah. So I just moved here with no connections, just wanted a life change, career change, and wanted to elevate my career. And I knew that in Beverly Hills was the best for color. And I was very color focused at the time. I wasn't extension focused. So I really just dropped everything. I owned a salon in Utah. I had built it up, full clientele, and I just made the decision, like, I'm going to move. And I feel like I belong in LA and I'm going to do it. So we did. And I started in this salon, and Britney had been seeing this owner of this salon, and he was my mentor for many years. And so she initially sat in my chair because she wanted extensions. So I really struggled in the first year building my clientele because like I said, I didn't know anyone here. I have no family. And this industry here in LA is cutthroat. It's very competitive. There's a lot of scarcity, and people are, just highly driven. And so to be able to grow your clientele, you can't just hand out business cards and get people to sit in your chair. It's like,
So how did you do it? Word of mouth?
so no, it's not. For me, I had to be more strategic. I had to think, okay, how can I swing this? Like, I see how other people are doing it. They're working under celebrity hairstylists. They're trying to get in that door, which can work certainly. I realized, like, just being good at hair and being good at color, and I was a high educator for a company, it wasn't going to work for me. So I tried to be strategic, and I found an extension method that had not been done in LA. No one was doing it, and it was pretty new. And I went and learned it and knew, like, this is kind of my gateway. Like, if I have a niche extension method that I'm doing that no one else is doing, I can get the people in my chair. And that's how I got you in my chair. She was wearing a other extension method, and actually the other stylist in the salon kind of talked her into it.
Oh, really? So
Right?
can you tell us
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it wasn't even me.
What's the new type called, and why is it, do you think, less damaging? And can you tell us
So
what
this
it's
was,
called?
I mean, how long was this? 7 years
Yeah,
ago.
probably 7 years
So
ago.
at the time, this beaded rose was new. It was like newer and had only been around for maybe less than 5 years, and not popular in Los Angeles. Now beaded rose are very
But
big.
what it
So-
did was, like, I wore the individuals before, which were like very wormy, and I always was scared to put a lot in. So my hair always like separated, and you can tell. So when Kiki started doing my hair, what the method she does, it like allowed my hair to look like it was my real hair. So it didn't look like I had extensions in. The way that she was able to cut it and put it in, it was.
A little more hidden, a little more integrated in your hair. And
But I started
Do you
with
think
one.
it's less damaging? Because some extensions, I mean, all extensions will damage it, right? Like a little bit.
all extensions have the potential to damage no matter
Yeah.
what method it is. It's all
Yeah.
about home care, and then it's about the actual person installing it. So it depends on which method. Some methods, it's a lot of home care is really important, and the way you install with this beaded row method, with most beaded row methods, it's the safest, I would say.
So what's the home
agree.
care tip?
The home care tip is like, how are you brushing it? Like, how are you washing it? How are you like literally pulling it up and taking it down? If you're gentle with it and you're conservative with the way that you are with your hair, then you're
Right.
fine.
So when I brush my hair, I will hold my hair so that I'm not pulling from the root. And then I'll start from the bottom and gently, and also the brush that you're
The brush.
using.
Yeah,
So
The brush
that
is
way,
important.
right. I think the worst thing to do would be to just take your brush and pull your hair out and pull it down when the tape ends or the cylinders. That's what I have as
Yeah.
tape ends, which I'm really happy with. I've been wearing for 7 years.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and lots of methods can work for lots of different people.
Right.
And we even do more methods now in the salon than we used to. And so we're starting to integrate more and get the clients comfortable. In some ways, we do 3 different types of beaded row installations, and we do bonds, and we do all these little things, but it's all about home care. So when a client comes to us for the first time, you probably remember this, you give you a care package,
Yeah.
and we tell you how to take care of it, and we show you, and it's all about education. It's all
Special
about
shampoo.
teaching them, because there's a lot of fear, and we do a lot of first-time extension wearers at our salon. So
Is Liat good at taking care of them?
yeah, she's great. She gets an A+
baby.
grade. And I have a customer that does with her customers. She does a grading system when they come back, and sometimes she gives them like a C- or a B+, but like you get an A+ and you get an A+.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
And I think that you shouldn't let your hair feel weighed down. So I've had someone install, and it has actually felt like it was pulling.
Yeah.
I was like, that's got to come out.
Yeah,
Like,
and
my
so
body is
you're-
telling me the answer.
Yeah, you're a little bit more intuitive and like feeler with your scalp. I have some clients that can't feel a thing, and that's not a good thing. So
Right.
they really just have to be autonomous and know how to brush their hair, because they don't have any feeling on their scalp. I have a lot of feeling on my scalp, so I can feel when something's pulling. And so as the practitioner, it's up to us to really analyze
Protect
that
them.
and make sure. But my clients that feel the most are typically the best care, because they know when something's pulling, if it's too tight of a ponytail, or if they're brushing too hard, or
Right.
whatever it may be.
And it's
So-
for the shampoo you were just mentioning. Is that sulfate free and paraben free?
I think so, yeah.
What
The-
what
which
are the
shampoo?
rules of the shampoo?
The one that you,
Oh yeah, we use Isles formula in the salon, and that's an amazing formula made in LA here. It's European regulated, very simple.
and the
botanical
hair
based.
you
It smells
get,
good.
it's from Russia.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about why you think that's kind of the best
Yeah,
of
so
the best.
we have like my top tier product, which we have the salon cashmere extensions, and then we have the business of the actual product. And so we ship that product out to other salons and hairstylists that do hair extensions. And so we have 2 different product lines, but our top tier 1 product line is our cashmere hair, which is imported from Russia, single donor, which
Incredible.
means it comes from one person's head. It's not separated or integrated in any other way. So when you think about hair extensions, then you have to know that the majority of hair extensions come from China and are usually either Chinese or Indian, and it's a lot of hair put into one ponytail or one bundle. And why that is because people want the longest and the best strands. So these factories will integrate everything and put them together. That's not bad. It's not the worst, but the best of the best is single donor or raw hair, which comes from one person's head. And the benefit in choosing that is you really get to be individual with the texture match and really make sure that everything is like looking exactly like you or whatever you want it to be. So for you, for example, you come into my chair and you want to feel like when you're picking your hair
I'm
or
like,
your
no,
set.
Frizz.
Yeah, Leah is all about the feeling. So she likes to feel.
She'll bring you out all these
Yeah, she's all about the feeling. Like she closes her, like I'm like, close your eyes and just feel which
I
one you
shut
want to
my
go.
eyes and I'm like, Kiki, you pick it.
Yeah, she's a little more like, yeah. But that's the benefit is the way that it air dries and everything, you get to be so so precise with the hair. So if you're choosing more factory hair that's kind of been processed and jumbled and mumbled together, then you don't get that benefit.
The sun's out, the heat is on, and Frizz, it's about to be canceled. Say hello to new Brazilian Blowout Free, the world's first 12-week smoothing treatment formulated without formaldehyde. And yes, you heard right, it's free from ingredients you don't want, but packed with all the benefits that has stylists, celebrities, and influencers around the world obsessed with Brazilian Blowout. Our patent-pending technology is clinically proven to smooth hair from the inside out, realigning bonds internally and sealing the cuticle externally. The result? A glass-like, humidity-proof, and super smooth finish that lasts up to 12 weeks without damage for all hair types and textures. We're talking frizz-proof hair from root to tip, styling time cut in half, and a whole lot more shine in a whole lot less time. Oh, and if you want to keep your texture but ditch the frizz, Brazilian Blowout Free is fully customizable, so you can rock flawless curls and waves too. Because flawless climate-proof hair, that's the ultimate summer essential. Ask your stylist about Brazilian Blowout Free, or to find a certified Brazilian Blowout Free stylist near you, visit our stylist locator at BrazilianBlowout.com. And here's a little extra. Use the promo code HEAL, HEAL, at checkout to save 10% and get free shipping when you shop online. That's promo code HEAL at checkout. Frizz doesn't stand a chance. Book your Brazilian Blowout Free today.
Okay. What are you guys anti any specific kind of hair? If someone were to come in and say that they want something like that you don't recommend people get in terms of the, like, what are the different kinds?
In terms of the hair strands?
that you guys do? Because you just mentioned rose, something called
Yeah, beaded rose.
beaded rose is one. Will you go over the rest of them?
Yeah, so there's methods that we're talking about with this installation. Then we're talking, the other category is actual hair strands and the quality and the source of where it comes from in the country, right? So those are two different things. And so we really educate clients. For us in our salon, with the way that we install the method, we prefer beaded rose and keratin bonds that are made custom for the client. We prefer that because home care is the easiest, maintenance is the easiest. But there's no wrong way. It's just we prefer to do it that way. So if somebody wants a different method, we just don't do it. But it's not bad or it's not wrong. But that's just what we like because we're very in our process and it really works for all of our clients. And so if you want tape-ins, we can direct you to someone who wants them. But it's not bad. It's like all of them are good. Like I said before, it's like the way that they're installed, the way that they're taken care of at home. So
My girlfriend that we were just talking about, she is trying to talk me into doing the beads, you said. She's like, why don't you just let me do your hair once? Because she's right here. And I'm like, God, I'm just so attached to what I have. But she promises me that the beads, is that what it is again?
the beaded rose.
The beaded rose. So basically, is it like a tiny little bead?
Yeah.
It can be installed like so many different
Is that
ways.
what you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like on a track. So it's like,
They like sew it in.
yeah, it's like a
It's
track that
sewn?
goes around and there's like 5 or 6
You should
points.
see her.
It can
She's
be,
like
but like I said, we have like 3 different ways we install beaded rose, and it really depends on the client's scalp. It's like their experience with it. I think the benefit in rose is you get more impact for less contact points on your head. So you get more fullness, more length, impact for less contact
got
points.
your new client.
That's
over here.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
a little more
why
invisible.
would I want to mess with it? But it feels, and when it's on, what I have feels like my own hair. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing hair. So it's like I could shake it, I could swim in it, I can do everything.
Yeah, all
It's
those
very-
things will be
that's how
the
this-
same.
And then you can go up as high as you want.
Like I have I have like 2 full rows
Do
and
we
then I
need to
have like
just
a
show on
quarter.
camera?
But I can swim, I can pull my hair up in a ponytail, I can run my fingers through it. My husband can run his fingers
Someone
through
else can run their fingers through, and I feel like
it. And the
that
way
feels
that
really
she
At the
Kiki
end.
when we're
Kiki's the
finished,
best.
when you're finished, I'm going to give you permission to run your hands through all of our. You
Oh,
can
I was
feel.
going to say, after we don't need to look good anymore, I'm going to run my hands through your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the biggest compliment that I get when I do a first-time client or extension wear, or actually someone who's worn a lot of extensions, like someone like you, it's very
Yes.
flattering to me when I do something on them and they're like, wow. I mean, I literally can't feel a thing. That's
Because a lot of
common
times
comment.
these rows that when people do them, how they install is they're thick. So you feel them. But Kiki's technique, and I have to say it's the Russian hair as well. It's like when you touch your head, you don't feel them. So there's not like there's not like that padding, almost like that thickness in there. It's like stuck to your head.
The other thing that I think is really important, since we're talking about hair and the most important accessory that it is also being able to modify and elevate the shape of your head to really be flattering to your face and the shape of your face. So I always want to like add more height to balance my face down here. And so I can't necessarily contour as well as I want to, but I can
You're
add some
contouring
height.
with your hair.
Right. So I've always admired girls that can do the high ponytail because their heads like can really support that, as opposed to having more of a flat head, me. And so so one of the things it sounds like you guys can accomplish with that is by giving more height to the dome, like that really shapes your and balances your whole face, since beauty is all about these millimeters of proportions and where your eyes are and where your nose is and where your chin is. It's also where your hair is.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. Since we're going to bring it kind of back to this like heel to feel, right? Because hair and outer beauty obviously changes how you feel about yourself and, you feel better and, then your whole world changes as you're going through it. So I'll start with Kiki. Do you have any like one story or one client that you can tell me about that it like, besides myself, that dramatically like changed their life, or, they gave you a story about, since I've done my hair with you, any emotional or either of
Other
you,
than better sex at home with their husbands.
I mean, that
Other
too.
than
That's a big one.
Giving them a memorable night.
I could probably give you 5 or 10 situations where a woman has cried after.
Yeah.
And I could even give you more than that, dozens. Like probably last week I had a client cry who's a recurring client. And it happens a lot because when you're sitting in my chair, you guys feel this. I'm a very emotionally deep person. It's like just I like fun, light conversation, but I'm removing your extensions. You're in a vulnerable state, but I also like to be in an emotional vulnerable state, and it just opens you up and makes you feel heard and seen. And like my client that was in last week, she just went through a really rough breakup. She was engaged and it was like a whole thing. And at the end, I think she was holding it in. And at the end, she thanked me like, we're going to be okay. And you put my extensions in and we're good. And like, I was like, yeah, we're good. And we were bonding a lot. And it's all those things. And I've done people's hair for a funeral of a spouse that they lost. I've done people's hair for like lots of hard.
What about
intense
cancer
things.
patients?
Cancer patients, I usually see them at the end when their hair is grown out. And those are incredible because it's like they did lose something. They've lost their dignity. They've lost a lot of things and they're trying to come back to themselves, and losing your hair that way, a wig will never do it for them. They want the real stuff. So extensions and integrated into your own hair is the best way for it to feel like it's your own and it's a part of you. And so when I've ever done anyone like that, I've done several where they've grown their hair out and then we've put in, we have to put in a lot of rows to make it look good, but it's incredible because it's just like, I'm back, like after all of this season of hardship and just like pain of going through that. And you really do. My mom went through cancer treatment and she didn't lose her hair, but she lost a lot of dignity because you're so helpless. And she was such a can-do attitude person, and to feel that way, it's like giving somebody at least that back can really fill in a lot of the gaps.
Yeah. It's very emotionally
It's
rewarding
very
too.
emotionally
And like
rewarding.
they always say like hairstylists are kind of like therapists, people sit in their chair and they're just like, let me unload, on you. But I mean, we have good deep conversations
I'm like
too.
so addicted to that feeling. It's incredible. So it's like doing that for so many years and I'm addicted to that feeling, but it's a lot, and it's behind the chair and you're on your feet all day. And so now with my new company and moving into this new thing where I'm working with hundreds of hairstylists. Now it's cool because I'm getting that same feeling, but I'm getting it and I'm just sitting in my office and I'm getting the messages pouring in of like, I just had this new transformation and I have to tell you about it and the product, and it's so amazing and thank you so much. And it's like to even just feel that is really, really
it's rewarding.
fun.
Kiki's place is like our Cheers bar.
Yeah.
It's the best. I order, first of all, I order goop We
Yeah.
like order
My husband's
hot.
like, really?
You
You're going
got
to
me
Kiki's
hooked.
again?
Goop kitchen.
Britt
every
got
4
me
weeks.
hooked on
Leon makes
Goop
it rain.
Kitchen.
Leon makes it rain every time at her
Every time
appointments.
I'm
She's
there,
like,
it's
everybody gets
raining.
scoop.
We Postmate. Yeah, we Postmate lunch. We all
It's
eat
a
lunch
very
together because you're
soulful
there for like 4
experience.
hours. We hang out, put on
Yeah.
music. Kiki makes these incredible, like either matcha lattes or regular
so fun.
latte. It's an
yeah.
experience.
We
and
really try to create
in
that
West Hollywood.
when I was
Yeah.
in, building the salon out and everything, what I wanted was a safe haven because I knew it's an emotionally vulnerable place to be is wearing extensions when you remove those. And so it's like no one's invited to the club unless they have extensions. Like we don't have, it's not a full service salon.
Yeah.
So everyone getting them is in the same position as you. But even furthermore, what type of environment are we trying to create? Like intimate
Yeah.
and safe.
And you
so,
took a house and kind of
Yeah.
converted it. So it's got that homey feeling.
Where is
so
it?
cool.
Where is
Yeah,
it
it's
exactly?
in West Hollywood.
Sunset.
And
It's like right across from the Chateau. The
Okay.
Chateau Marmont,
Yeah.
like down one of those little side streets.
like the
right there.
den, or is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on.
Yes.
But the idea
It's
that,
behind the den.
that
Okay.
she only
Yeah.
does extensions there, it does. It makes it so much more
And she does your
comfortable.
color, but she won't do your color unless you're doing extensions.
Right. And it's part
So
of
it is a
matching
club.
too.
It's a little club that we have
Yeah,
going
they
on.
match
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
They
It's
take
like
your
Kiki's
hair, they put
Clubhouse.
masks on it.
It's an
like-
all-inclusive experience. So when you come see us, we do the color, the touch-up, the extensions, the mask, the trim, the sometimes
Therapy,
everything.
the food.
You're seeing us for everything.
I was at the salon, I think yesterday, and I said, are you sure you don't have a room in the back for me? Because I was going to be taking my clip-ins in and out so that I could do something specific for a scene. So it was like, they're like, looked at me kind of like, do you need it? And I was like, yeah, if I asked you for it, I need it. I don't want to be sitting in the front of the window of a store wondering how many people come in and out and if someone is going to mind their own business or not. So the idea of having, it's just like the same as when you get your other wellness things done. Is it going to be a crowded waiting room? No, thank you. I don't want that. I want it to be a safe, intimate space.
especially for you in the in the public, like in the public face. You're
you
people-
have somebody that's like going like this,
Yes.
and like trying to take a picture, and you're like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah, that
So I
doesn't
love
feel
the sound
good.
of that.
Yeah,
Britt,
you want to
what's,
feel safe.
what's a story? Any stories that you can think of?
I mean,
I know
like
you've
going
been
back to Brazilian Blowout, there's so many where women just were like, "Oh my god."
I mean, you can probably testify to
Oh,
that.
I'm like, between the two, we really, really don't realize how much hair, like it eats at you. And by the way, I used to just stare at everybody's hair. I had no idea that 90% of these women are wearing
90%.
extensions. I'd be like,
Yes.
why am I
Yeah.
the only one who doesn't have hair?
for women, it is like, going back to it's like our one accessory that we have on every day, but it really does make you feel so good.
Right.
And even if
Yeah.
you can't put on your makeup, if you can't put on your brows aren't done or your nail, like if your hair, you feel good about that. It's just, it's going back to feeling feminine and feeling beautiful and
Powerful.
yes.
Yeah,
I
something
think
we
it's-
say in the hair extension industry is your hair extensions are your crown that you never take off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can take a lot of
100%.
things off.
That's a
but
great saying.
100%.
Yeah.
I
it is
love
very
that.
empowering.
So being in the business world as women, do you find it, I know that both of you guys have built incredible businesses. If you want to share like any obstacles or, it's not easy.
Well, I
but you
definitely
guys-
want to hear. I want to hear not just about the product and your expertise, but a little bit more about what it takes on an emotional level or an entrepreneurial level to get to the place, and anything that didn't go well, that were mistakes, that were big teaching moments.
It's a good question.
Oh, I mean, we as entrepreneurs, even Brittany has a way bigger company than me. My companies are still small and very intimate, not a lot of employees, but you can just as an entrepreneur say like the obstacles are a part of the process.
Yeah.
And it is the reason that I think it's the thing that that you're doing something correct when you keep hitting the obstacles. It's like, because with my thing that I wasn't the first to bring Russian hair to America. There are other competitors that I have, but the way that I did it on the weft is the first way that no one's ever done before. So lots of obstacles, lots of just tears
What
of
did you
frustration.
do differently on the weft?
So we put it on a Genius weft, which is like the flattest weft right now on the market in the world, technology wise. So just normally Russians are the leaders in the type of hair extension world. I think that they're one of the leaders in the world in the way that they do it. And Russian hair characteristically is just so like fine and fluffy and just has a lot of characteristics and benefits, but they don't do it on a weft. So in America, wefts are like the leading installation method. So it just came with a lot of obstacles and it was like really hard, but I knew I have to make this work because I owe it to myself because I can't sleep at night knowing that this isn't out. And for years, it took me 3 years to get that going. And there was times where I just gave up and I was like, I need to trust this process. I need to just listen to my intuition, but I'm never going to stop because I won't be able to sleep at night until this is done or this is at least here in my hands. So getting my first shipment in of the actual weft, I literally just opened that package and I just cried because my husband took a video of me and I was just like, oh my God, like I've tried for 3 years for this to work and like finally it's here. And it was like such an intimate moment that like I hadn't really shared. I did not share that venture with a lot of people, mainly because it was highly competitive. And I just knew it was like for me and it was going to be big and amazing. And it didn't even take off big, which was the most surprising thing. But it was only surprising to me because I have so much confidence and faith that it was going to be amazing. But I had to convince everybody else in my marketplace to understand. So finally, once it started getting into the hands of people, then it took off. But it took a good year for it to do that. So,
which is not that long when you're building like a big, you know,
in
I've
hindsight.
I mean, entrepreneurs, you're going to fail a million times. It's that, and people, I think, give up at the wrong time, right? The people, you're going to be successful if you don't give up. Sometimes I feel like people give up right before they were going to.
Right before the door swings open.
Yes.
You know,
Like
cross that.
So if there's one thing I've learned in all of this is like, I have my own timeline because I'm a Leo and I'm all like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to like figure it out. And I'm very proactive and I like to control things. But I've learned through all of this, building several businesses, that I have my own timeline, but God has a different timeline. And so it's been smacked me right in the face with things. And then I'm like, wow. So when the door finally opens, I see and I'm like, oh, yeah, like it'll either happen way before or way after. And I am learning now. I'm in this new season of my life where I'm learning to just trust
and have certainty.
Have certainty. Yeah.
That's the one big thing
I can tell you though, sitting next to Kiki, who also is a dear friend or has become a dear friend. Like I tell you all the time, I'm so proud of you for being so young and so entrepreneurial and so tenacious and going after and achieving. Like you've achieved such milestones and I'm so proud of you. And I know that
well, you knew me before all
but
of
it's
this.
been a very short amount of time that you've done such
and just
it's
even
such an
moving states and
accomplishment.
coming somewhere where you don't know a single soul. Like and starting a business on top of like moving alone is hard.
She has a
Moving is
kick-ass
hard.
salon that is, trust me, I had a salon. It's hard to be successful. Like I owned a salon for 10 years. I don't think I made $1 in 10 years. Not $1. Not $1.
What do you mean? Salons are terrible
they
for
are
profit.
So hard.
They're awful for profit.
Yes.
So-
that's not
okay.
a joke.
And a lot of
It's not a
hairstylists
joke.
are
It's not a
boozing
joke.
every night.
Yes.
I mean, it's a culture.
It's
Drinking
a very tough business.
Yeah.
But then to take, for the salon not to be the, for Kiki herself behind the chair not to be the commodity, to make the money and be where she wants to be, she created a product, a commodity. And
Smart.
that's what I think is, for what my success was. I think that like finding that commodity, like the salon not being the commodity because it's a brick and mortar, it was very tough. Finding a product and something that was interesting and in a niche of its own. And again, going back to the timing, like there's really no time. You can't put a time on a business because I think that people always think businesses are built overnight and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It takes so much time to get to where you're even able to make a little bit of money. So don't give up. And I think that when you look at people who are super successful in life, they're risk takers. And with big risk, there's tremendous reward. And I think that for women, it's also a tougher road for all of us. It's a little more of a challenge because it really is like in the true business world, I think a lot of it's getting so much better today, but it's a man's world.
Yeah.
Even in the beauty business that I'm in, a lot of it is
world.
men. It's
Behind
a
the
man's
curtain.
world. Yeah. So I think that stick with it, stay true to what your intention is, your goals are, and know that it's a marathon and not a sprint.
When you created the Brazilian Blowout, did you find it in Brazil and then bring it to America?
It was already over here as a product. It was called something, there was a different name. I think where we got very lucky was there's Q-tip, there's Xerox, which is like a generic name for, like a Xerox copy.
right.
Q-tip, there's, 100 brands, 200 brands.
Swab, right.
But there's one called Q-tip where they own. So we got very lucky in the name Brazilian Blowout because that entire sort of segment or hair genre is all put under one. So it's a good thing and a bad thing because there's other products out there that people are doing it and it's not necessarily
A Brazilian.
the
Yeah, because
Brazilian
when you
Blowout.
think of keratin, you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm doing the Brazilian, even though it might not be your product.
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
generic name is keratin,
Yeah.
but your product
So there was products out here. So we created our own product and we came up with the name Brazilian Blowout. And I have to tell you, it's been, like I said, I can't even pinpoint exactly when we started, but it's been years and years. And we've had tons of trials and tribulations. And even as a mom, like I've stepped away. And one thing I've realized, or I've had to realize over the years, because I'm not really involved in my company anymore, is that there's so many people that are better at what my company needs, what they do. So like taking my ego out of it and my emotion.
It's trusting and delegating,
Yes.
which is hard when it's your baby.
Yes,
I've watched
yes.
Trevor go through it, and it's not easy because you want
it's
to control
not.
every part of it. But at some point, if you want it to elevate it,
Yeah.
you have to step back and start trusting people to do certain
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And
do
I
you have
worked
to-
with my husband, like we started it together. So that was
That's hard.
another tough part.
Is there a lot of marketing behind it that you guys
Well, yes.
did?
I can tell you, like Brittany can tell you, but I can tell you from a consumer standpoint, I was the consumer. So I'm seeing ads and I'm seeing pictures of J-Lo using Brazilian Blowout and this and that. So,
Yeah.
and being in what is People magazine or something like that. It was like those things as a hairstylist, you're seeing that and it was changed. That's how it was changing the industry.
That's kind of crazy
the
because
marketing.
like back then, now the form of marketing is using influencers, right? But back
Yeah.
then it was more about
very
magazine, like
organic.
yeah.
But most of the PR that we had was so organic because like I said before, Twitter, Instagram, all of these things were so new. So social media was just kind of coming to the market. So it's a whole different way of marketing nowadays than we had back. Yeah, magazines were such a big deal. And like,
Yeah.
remember
I
like
miss those days.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Stars, they're just like us.
Flipping through the magazine.
I remember sitting in the salon chairs, flipping through magazines.
Yeah. Oh, I
Now
miss
it's
this.
so much more about building your brand voice. Like in our company, we can have our own Instagram for the product or whatever, but the reason why I have the customer base that I have is because they know me.
Right.
Like they know who I am, they know my trials, they know what I've been through in my story, and I continue to stay vulnerable on my own platform, and that drives sales. And that may sound manipulative, but they're seeing who I am as a person every day, working on the brand and all the little breadcrumbs that you leave. And that's the amazing part, because when people talk about social media being a downside or like being negative, I love it because it's a vessel to just connect to people, and it's a vessel to connect to the women that I have and my customers in the salon, my customers in the other business, and I will never get over that.
Yeah. And also anyone can hop on social media and create a brand. Like before it was like go
Yeah.
through agents or go through all these things, or you
Yeah.
need the money or you need this and that. But truth is there's so many success stories coming out of social media.
Yeah, it's
Justin
crazy.
Bieber was discovered on social media.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube, I think.
And a lot of companies now, because of these like click to purchase on Instagram, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And nobody has to have brick and mortar and stuff anymore, which is, a whole different.
Yeah. And yeah,
easy.
it's all changing. So where do you guys see your businesses going? In what direction? Like, do you see yourself, Kiki, you can't leave us. Do you see yourself
I'm not
getting
leaving.
out of the
I'm never leaving.
physical side of doing
Kiki,
extensions?
sign this right here that says you're never going to leave
Forever.
LA.
I will.
But like, do you see yourself taking on less clients and going more into doing this hair product?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You can't leave Brittany though.
Here's the thing:
Oh my
is
God,
just
no.
a hairstylist. You know this. A hairstylist's like lifespan starts to end in their 40s. And so I always think about that. It's if you see a hairstylist in their 50s, it's like, wow, it's crazy. I mean, there's a lot.
It's also wearing, like they're on their feet all day long.
It's very taxing emotion, like
yeah.
physically. So
It's a tough business.
I made the decision a couple of years ago that I was not going to do that forever. And that's when I got into the education space and product development and all those things, because I wanted another like facet of my life to fuel me. But this year I'm working down to 2 days a week instead of 3 days a week in the salon, but I'm still probably going to do it for a while because I just love the human connection. I love to feel the energy, and I love being in the salon with the girls. And I love, ordering goop and like getting Erewhon smoothies and doing all those things like really fuel my soul. So I think if I took it away completely, I would just pre-book.
Just pre-book.
But which most of my clients do.
What does pre-book mean?
Like,
Get on the schedule
like most
now.
of my clients have like
I book
a
like
recurring appointment.
6 months in it. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
book like every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
You know
Plan
what
it.
you need. You know what time
Yeah.
it about.
And if it
turns.
doesn't work, we have swap days. Like,
We'll do a
because
swap.
it's on the calendar.
Right.
I know Leon has days I might be able to swap out.
So Brittany will text me and be like, I need this day. And I'm like, well, Liat has that day. So like, get her to switch
Right.
with you
Work
and
with each
we'll
other.
swap it out.
So only doing it 2 days a week. I didn't realize you went from 3 to 2.
I'm going to 2 days a week in
okay.
June, July.
Okay.
So
forever or just for the
we'll see.
summer,
We'll
so
see,
that you can have a European summer vacay.
yeah, I mean, right now there's no European summer vacays because I'm still doing all the fulfillment of myself on that side of the other company and just trying to like fill those roles. So that company is going to grow. And then I would love to just, I am just feeling with everything. It's like what feels good to me, because that's really what it's
I like
about.
that.
Yeah, like that feels good to me. But I'm never going to say this is my plan forever and always. If I feel a different way and I want to change and do something different, I will.
You're on your own journey right now.
New life, baby.
Spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of
It's
people
exciting.
making big changes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this year has been quite. Everyone says that, but it is really feeling like that for me.
For me too.
Yeah.
I think it's a good
and
year.
what about you?
What?
Where's the company going? She's
Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not as much in the company. We have our new product, which I'm super excited about. This new product it's called BB Free, and it's a whole different formulation. So it does not have formaldehyde at all, but it's for hairstylists. It's a re-education. So like new hairstylists that we educate them, they're like, oh, got it. Because they're new, they've never done it. So it's like saying, okay, here's how you wash your hair, but you have to totally do it different, right?
Yeah.
So it's re-educating hairstylists that have been doing the treatment for so long, because the actual product is a different way to get to
It's
the
a
same
different
outcome.
process. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you get the exact same outcome.
Yeah.
Some are saying better, which is amazing.
Yeah. And I
And
think
faster. No,
Mhm.
faster.
I think also with entrepreneurs, once you get that business going, you can now start dabbing into other ventures,
Yes.
right?
And that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us a
Yeah.
little about.
So I
you're doing.
started a podcast with
Yep.
my
Other half,
my other half. She's my soulmate.
her best friend. They do everything together. They travel the world together.
She's
They're
my
like,
soulmate.
How did you guys meet?
We met in our community like during COVID, but it was like fast and furious. And we have a podcast called What She's Having, and we work with Kimberly. And it's really all about, we hate the word. We're trying to rename the word middle age, because it's a terrible word, but about being 40 plus and everything that goes with that. So the hormones, all the beauty procedures, all the plastic surgery, there's like nothing we have not tried, from silk pillowcases to facelifts, and we've done it all together. And we're not going to gatekeep anything. So this has been fun for us.
there's just so much information, and there's so many people you don't know who to try. So the fact that you guys can sit there and kind of show us a good resource of, hey, we got the best in all of this. Follow us. I love that.
Because
And
you
I'm sure it'll
actually
be
have
really
tried.
funny
It's
because
been-
you guys
yeah.
have chemistry.
Yeah.
So I look forward to hearing that.
And she's also a very good Kiki client.
She's a cashmere girl.
oh yeah,
She's a cashmere girl.
She's your most strict.
Yeah. She's my most demanding.
Yes.
So with that being said, if people want, are you taking new?
I take new clients. I never say no.
And
Yeah.
where, if they want to come see you, where
Yeah,
can they
so
get to you?
we're cashmereextensions.com. That's where you apply, and then we'll do a phone consultation. And then we have the salon in West Hollywood, right next to the Chateau Marmont. And then, like I said before, we do an all-inclusive process. So if you want everything from the color, the installation, the cut, the style, all of it out the door, that's what we do.
And also therapy, guys, therapy.
And therapy, yeah. And a care package to take home. So that's where you find us there. And then
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is kiki.tobar, T-O-B as in boy, A-R. And then the Instagram is Cashmere Extensions. And then
K-A-S-H-M-I-R.
Yes, K-A-S-H-M-I-R.
And that is your daughter's name.
Yes, yeah. So
Love
like Led Zeppelin song is where that came from.
And it is worth it.
It's worth it.
It
And then
is
Britt,
worth
number one, they can ask the hairstylist if they
Correct.
want your new product, BB free.
BB free.
Okay. And then podcast, when is that coming out?
May 14th.
Oh.
Scheduled now. Yeah.
We're almost there.
We're almost
Okay.
there.
And what is the podcast called and where can they find it?
It's What She's Having.
What She's Having.
And then Instagram is official What She's Having. That's our handle.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming. This was fun.
Thank you for
Yay.
having
Yes,
us.
thank you. It was
Hair
very
is
fun.
everything, guys.
Yes.
See you next time. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of Heal to Feel. You can write in and ask your questions on our show's IG page at H2F Pod, and we'll address your questions on next week's episode. If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family. Share the fun with all those that can benefit from a good laugh or cry with us. Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we would greatly appreciate you.